This is Jesper. I'm from DAD, and you're listening to Sonic Perspectives. Please enjoy.
Hello again, rock fans from all over the world. I am Rodrigo Altaf, once again reporting for Sonic Perspectives. I have on the line today a founding member of the Danish rock band DAD, the lead singer Jesper Binzer. Jesper, it's great to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Where are you located right now? Are you in Denmark?
Right now, I'm looking out into some beautiful weather in Copenhagen, Denmark. So it's summer here, and it's lovely.
Awesome, man. I'm here in Toronto where it's summer, but I think it's not exactly summer because it's very cold today. But anyway, yeah. I'm hoping the sun will come eventually.
Yeah.
Well, we are here, of course, to talk about the new album, A Prayer for the Loud. How's the reception to it going so far?
We've got great reviews, actually. There are a lot of 4 stars and a lot of 5 stars reviews. So, and that's just the Danish press. So we're very happy about it. It seems like people are happy that at last DAD showed up with an album. Yeah. And it seems like they understand where we've been and where we're heading. So that's just great.
Uh-huh. Well, I wrote a review as well. I don't know if you read it for Sonic Perspectives, and I'm glad that you guys are back. And to be honest, you fell off my radar for a few years. I lost contact with the band, moved on to other things, but I'm glad to have reconnected right now. So.
Definitely. Being a band out of Copenhagen, Denmark, it's not the center of the world. So, we try as much as we can. But that's the thing about the DAD thing. It's a schizophrenic career because we're totally mainstream in our small home country. So we've got fans, we've got a lot of dialogue going on. We've got a lot of people who knows exactly who we are in Denmark, and to a degree, it pays our bills as well. Mm-hmm. So whenever the outside world is not totally digging DAD, we have a perfect little career going on here, more or less in obscurity. But this time around, it definitely feels like there's a 3rd or 4th wind going on in Europe, and it seems like with a little luck that we can come to the Americas next year as well. So we're back out there.
Mm-hmm. And I understand that the genesis of the new album was a little different than your standard process because it took you guys several years to finalize it, right?
That's right. We of course we lied to the record company and said, "Oh yeah, we're ready in 6 months," and that kept on for like 2 or 3 years. The reasons for the long delay, there's several, of course. First of all, it's not like it used to be with albums. It's people are still calling us and want us to come out and play regardless of a new album or not. So that's been a part of it. But there's also been the part that we've been rock stars for 25 years, mm-hmm. and it seems like at one point what looks good on you when you're 27 doesn't really look good on you when you're 53. So we had to recalibrate, some of our lives and lifestyles, and there was some kind of hangover going on as well in those years. Right. So it's just life, and it's been for me it's been great because I had the time to make a solo album. There was like 12 months off, and I jumped straight into it. To make a solo album. That's been great, and it's been great on a lot of levels because now I can actually go to the rehearsal space with the guys without being stressed a bit, without being let's do this, let's do that. Right. I could actually, because I made my own stuff, I had this almost calm. I'm not calm, but almost calm in meeting up with the other guys.
Right. And, well, having read that you guys took this long to write it, I was expecting a heterogeneous result, but it sounds incredibly tight and cohesive. And I think that sticking to your identity played a huge part in that. Am I correct?
Definitely. Of course. we've been experimenting a lot, and we've enjoyed it very much. And we've played any kind of music, maybe not a reggae song, but all kinds of music. We just felt that we had the right to do whatever we wanted when we've been doing this for so many years. But this time around, when we pushed the deadline so many times, and in the end we found out, okay, so what is it that we really want to do? So can we make a sharp profile? Can we make something that this is instantly recognizable as DAD, so that we both can bring in, the old fans and the new times. Mm-hmm. That was maybe like the headline for it. But on the other hand, you just write your songs and you do what you do. What you need to remember, though, is that it has to be pages of your diary. So songs that was made 8 years ago doesn't really count, because that's not, it's not up to date in that sense. So we had more or less to start from scratch 2 years ago, which was perfect because we had a lot of music in us. That was the whole deal with it. We had a lot of music that needed and wanted to come out, but we just need the four of us to be on the same page.
Right. And how do you guys split the writing duties? Who brings melodies, who brings riffs, who writes lyrics, and so on?
Everybody brings something different every time. And it's we split everything in 4 equal parts.
Okay.
And so if you have like 2 months in some kind of production, it's very easy to see that one guy has made the most of it. But 2 more months down the line, you find out that there was another guy who made most of it. And then 6 months later, it was the third guy that actually made the. Uh-huh. So it's like it turns out that it's perfectly right, and as it should be, that we split it 4 ways, because all 4 of us contribute equal to it.
Right, and I think splitting 4 ways or splitting equally plays a huge part in you guys staying together all these years, because money can ruin a good band, right?
Definitely. Yeah. Also, ego ruins a good band every day, and yeah. That happens with DAD as well. But when you try to eliminate the ego by splitting everything 4 ways, so it doesn't matter which song is the first single, it doesn't matter how which song is going to be played the most, everybody gets equal out of it. And this is a much better way artistically to look at stuff, instead of suddenly you get caught up in you want your own song on the radio, and everybody knows what that. Everybody understands it, but maybe your own song is not the best song.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. Well, let's talk about a few songs on the album, if you can. The first one is Burning Stars, which kicks things off with the signature DAD sound. Did you place Definitely. This one first on the album on purpose?
No, that's not. You never really look at it from a distance when you're in the middle of it. It's hard to do it, and everything changes. What you have to do, though, is to stay open and don't pin anything down until the very last moment. Just do what the song tells you to do. Do what the song requires, and then in the end, preferably with a producer, you find out which songs first, and you find out what's the general color of the general feeling of this album. Mm-hmm. Because if you start out doing, it's going to be like a concept thing, and then the songs themselves are not so interesting. And of course, concept albums and the way of doing it the other way around has some merit to it, but we are a rock and roll band, so we start off with the emotions, definitely.
Mm-hmm. And I love the title track too, that starts slow and then builds up into this monstrous track with an amazing chorus. Tell us a bit about this one, if you can, and what came first, the song or the album name?
The album name came separately, parallel to the song, in that sense that A Prayer for the Loud was a one-liner that I had in mind, totally disconnected to the song first. And that was because I just loved the thought of people who dare speak their mind, people who dare bring the party to the party, people who dare show themselves, people who are not afraid of, people who don't hide, people who don't, lie, people that show themselves. That was like a main thing for me. A heightened sense of communication. I think you have some kind of you need to show people who you are and where you are. So that's like the idea behind A Prayer for the Loud, is for those who shout and those who show themselves, we love you.
Okay.
But the song itself, of course, was very blues inspired in the verses. So I had this feeling, this thing about the Church of Blues, where you take a rock concert as a congregation, as a rock concert as something where everybody participates for what they believe in. So it was like the Church of Blues is a rock concert. And we love the guys who sing along. We love the guys that clap along. We love the guys that participates. So that's what the song is about. So the song is about what we do daily,
That's
so to speak.
such a cool concept. And I need to ask you about your voice, because in my review I said that on the title track you sound like a whiskey drinker and a Marlboro smoker. But I mean that in a good way.
Yeah.
Do you still drink and smoke, and how do you manage to preserve
No,
your
no,
voice?
no. No, I don't smoke anymore. What I do love is the cannabis CBD oil. But that's a whole other story.
Right. Yeah.
No, but in being able to sing like your idol, to be able to sing like Bon Scott or Brian Johnson or those guys, that's always been my goal, and I'm not there yet. But I like to do about it is keep on, keep it on, keep it on. You suddenly find out that you've reached some kind of goal or some kind of level where you can sing like this, like every day. I can sing 16 concerts in a row and
Wow.
not lose my voice because I found out exactly how to use it.
Hmm.
So for that, I'm really thankful, because that- I used my voice and it has to be rock and roll, and I have to sing over on top of the guitars.
Yeah, and there are songs on the album where you sound like Steven Tyler a little bit, but with a little bit more
Yeah,
grit, almost like a Bon Scott kind of thing that you refer to
yeah,
right now.
yeah.
Are those guys, is Steven Tyler an influence on you? You just mentioned Bon, of course.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. I think that he's crazy enough for me to respect him totally, and I think that there's a lot of. Um, I mean, it's to. I'm rounded off by the blues. The blues has been with me ever since I first listened to my first rock and roll song, and I think that these guys you mentioned are blues singers, are people that is, sing some kind of bastard blues rock, and that's why I feel that that's my shelf. That's why I am, and nobody beats a voice like John Fogerty. Nobody beats a voice like Steven Tyler. But it's still one of the blueprints for how rock and roll should be. It's like Little Richard is like the blueprint for everything. So, and the rest of us are just trying to follow.
Right. And another song which definitely carries the DAD DNA is The Sky is Made of Blues. What's the meaning of that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very simple meaning, in the sense that it's if you have some troubles, sleep on it. You have to sleep on it, because you really can talk yourself down if you do it at night when you're tired and everything's dark around you. So, it's important to sleep on it. Do what you need to do in the daytime, because that's where you know exactly what's up and down. So it's just people having a slight paranoia attack before they go to bed. It's okay. Sleep on it. It's gonna be all right.
Just like my dad used to say, the pillow is a very bad advisor. Forget about it. Sleep on it and deal with it in the morning.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Okay, I'm gonna remember that. That's a good one. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Take note. Take note. Well,
I will.
in my review, I called musical chairs the bastard son of AC/DC and Guns N' Roses. Do you think I'm right in that comparison or not?
Definitely, but I also think that you should remember there's a little bit of Van Halen in there as well.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's everything we love in one song. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I ask you about also If the World Just? I think it's an amazing ballad that escapes the usual cliches of the genre.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
been a
I'll
long
tell you.
time. It's been a long time since I heard a rock ballad that caught my attention, to be honest. So talk a little bit about
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one if you can. Yeah.
Okay, this is a song that's personal for me. To me, I think it's very important. It's something that goes parallel with prayer, a prayer for the loud. it's a song that speaks about try to be active in your life and try to reach out of yourself. Do not just hide with your own problems. Share yourself and show yourself, because when you show yourself, then suddenly you can feel what's a lie and what's the truth. It's only when you say it out loud that you know what you're actually feeling. So that's a song about please open up. Please don't just stay inside of your head.
What a way to end an album, and I love that track. Love it. And what I notice about your sound is that you have like a natural grit and rawness since the beginning that so many younger bands try to attain but end up sounding a bit fake. I'm referring to, of course, like these new guys like Greta Van Fleet, for example. What are your thoughts on that, on this new generation that tries to allude to that sound?
I think that they are innocent, first of all. I think they're just innocent rock fans. And I think that all rock bands are at one point guilty in trying to copy the energy of what did happen in the 70s. I think that all of us are very inspired by the 70s on a daily basis, because I think that's where rock came into its own. A band like Greta Van Fleet, I mean, I think they're but it's like the X Factor generation. It's like they're so perfect that it's hard to relate in a way. They're doing it so well that it's hard to maybe relate, because it's like there's no cracks in that perfect soundscape or so. It's like, I think it's great for the young people. I think it's great that people get to experience the raw nerve of rock in a new setting. So I'm for it. I'm all for it.
Right. And let me ask you one thing. What's it like to have a brother in the band? Does that help or harm with the decision-making process and the plans that you guys make? Or?
It's probably, in the long run, a little harmful in the sense that we have to treat each other as band members and not as brothers. Oh. So the whole family part of it goes out the window in order for all four of us to be on the same page. Mm-hmm. I think it's great. It's really a great thing on another level, and that is that we get to share our whole lives together. So we really are a witness to each other's lives. So and that's and also it's like we acknowledge our past wordlessly, and we use our past in a creative way, and I think that's a gift to be able to share so much of life together. But also it takes away the normal family values, actually, because we need to be in a band more than to be brothers.
I see. And I couldn't interview without asking you about touring with Ozzy in the early 90s. You must have had some crazy stories to tell. What was that like, man?
Okay, there's a lot of crazy stories. But the first thing I need to say is that he is a very sweet guy. Mm. I mean, there's a reason he's where he's at, because he really cares about the fans. He cares about what he's doing. And he uses himself as an instrument to bring joy. And that's what you should aspire to. That's the only thing you should do. But of course, he's crazy. Of course, he's very funny to look at on stage. And of course, there were small graffitis of vaginas and penises in his oxygen tent. And of course, he showed up on time and all that stuff.
Right.
But we had some good chats with him, and he was supportive. But also in his own world, his own little drug-induced world. Mm. But what I took from those dates with Ozzy was that he really cares about the fans, and he's really focused on giving people a good experience every time. So I mean, his work ethics was the stuff that blew me away most, actually.
Right, that's cool to hear, because everyone tries to explore his crazy side and the crazy stuff that he does and says, but it's good to know that there's a heart underneath all that, right?
Okay, and that, you feel that. I mean, straight away you feel it. So that was a great experience.
That's cool. And some friends of mine from Brazil remember you guys playing a one-off show in Rio a few years ago, and apparently that
Yeah,
was organized
yeah,
by the Danish consulate. Is that true?
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
How did that come about? Was it a closed
And this
concert?
guy, there was some kind of a Danish export thing going on.
Oh,
So they needed some Danish music to support the whole thing.
okay.
And then they called us, and of course we said yes. As long as we get a hotel close to Copacabana, then it's perfect. And we enjoyed it so much. And it's a shame we haven't been back there since. But I mean, just to be there, we were there during the carnival, so it was just lovely.
Oh man, that's where I'm from, by the way. And I
Yeah.
miss
But
my
I
country.
was thinking maybe you were Portuguese, but that's of course just the language. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and well, I saw that a few shows have already been announced, and primarily you tour Scandinavia. Was there a
Yeah.
point in your career where you wanted to explore different markets, or that never came about, or?
Oh yes, and we have been out there in many places. And this a couple of years ago we were in Asia. A couple of years before that we were actually doing a small tour of the States. And I mean we are trying to do as much as possible, but I mean we are very much a European band. There's no money in for us in touring the States, but there's a lot of fans from the old days, and it'll be definitely worthwhile doing it. And we are so much planning to do it in 2020, and we hope that it's gonna end up like that. But I mean, we just play. We play for the people who calls us, who wants to hear us.
Hmm.
I mean, that's where life has brought us. I mean, we're just happy to get the call.
Yeah, you did a few cruises in North America as well, right?
Yeah,
What were they
yeah.
like?
I mean, it's a funny, bizarre way of enjoying rock music. I must say, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, people are sweet, but it's also a holiday. So it's like everybody's relaxing, and it's. I mean, it's a great way to see a whole kind of, bunch of bands, but it's also it's a little bit for people our age. I mean,
I
you
see.
have to be in the 40s or 50s in order to have that much money, and then when you have a holiday and stuff like that. So it's like an old version of a rock festival, and we enjoyed it very much. But it's very bizarre. It's like, I mean, a cruise ship. It's like a Trump Tower
Right.
in the waters, and then it's like, I don't know. It's funny, but I mean, there's a buffet, 24-hour buffet. So I'm happy.
I am yet to go on a cruise like that, man. That's one of my life goals, but I haven't had the opportunity yet.
No, I mean, it's expensive also. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, of course, cruises are expensive, but I must say that I had a tremendous experience on the 70,000 tons of metal cruise, where we were watching Behemoth, the Polish death metal,
Yeah, of course.
play in the middle of the night in rough seas. It was like getting a visit from the devil. It was a perfect concert. I mean, it really was a big experience. So that's funny to listen to that kind of devil music while the boat is rocking.
Yeah, in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the ocean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope the new album manages to open a few doors for you in Canada and the US, because I'd love to see you guys here eventually.
Definitely, we will be so. I mean, we once recorded a whole album. The Help Me Selfish album was recorded in just outside of not Toronto, but
Vancouver?
forgot. Why did I forget? No, the other on the East Coast.
Montreal?
Montreal, just outside Montreal. Yeah.
Okay. Was it Le
And then
Studio
so
or?
Yeah, exactly. Le Studio.
Oh, cool.
Exactly.
Man, a lot of the classic Rush albums were recorded there. The Police recorded there. That's an iconic studio. Oh,
It
didn't know you
really is.
recorded
I mean,
there.
we enjoyed it so much. We were so happy and blessed to be there. And of course, we went to Montreal, went to Chinatown, and had a great time in Montreal as well. So we really hoped. I mean, for a European guy, it's the best kind of America. That's definitely Canada.
Yeah, there's still some history here, and not everything is plastic, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and not everything, and it's not all Americans. There's no Americans
Yeah, I
That's
know.
great.
I know. Well, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, man. I hope I can see you here, play here in Toronto one day, right? But we are wrapping up
Definitely.
now.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for your time, and I hope to see you down the road, Jesper.
Thank you so much. Thanks for good chat.
Thanks. Take
Okay,
care,
I hope
man.
to see you.
Yeah,
Okay,
take care. Bye
great.
bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, folks, that's a wrap. Thank you for listening to this interview with Jesper from the AD. And if you enjoyed this one, please show some love and follow Sonic Perspectives on the usual social media channels: Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And of course, leave us a comment and share this interview if you want. Once again, I'm Rodrigo Altaf, and I'll leave you now with the title track of the AD's new album, A Prayer for the Loud. Take care and rock on.
Step into the church of blues, yeah, where every note is true. We've got a noise to lose your pain in, a place to dream away in after all that you've been through. Here, leave your troubles by the door, and blessed be the chords. We all know that heaven's waiting. Are you ready for your railing? 'Cause we're all kings and fools, and everything we do inside the church of blues. We've got a prayer for the loud. We've got a prayer for the little. We've got a prayer for the crowd. We've got a prayer for the giver. It's what the Church of Blues is about. Yeah, we've got love and we've got it loud. See, it's never growing old. Bless your ears and soul. We're living rock and roll. And I'll give a sermon you can trust. It's about a burning bush of